Welcome back. It's more than a pleasure to welcome the star of the shows, Terry Morris. Terry, thank you so much for coming on our show today.
Thank you so much, Jill and Alan, for having me on your show. It's a real pleasure.
It's our pleasure.
Yes, Alan, you're going to listen to Terry and get to know just how incredible he is. But before we get into all of that, Terry, let's start by asking you to tell us a little bit about yourself. But Terry is a singer and songwriter, incredible songwriter as well. So, Terry, let's ask you to tell us or to tell our listeners a little bit about yourself.
Well, I grew up in a little town called Asansol, close to Calcutta, and I studied in a school called St. Vincent's, and my passion mainly for songwriting has been from maybe around the age of 10 or 12. I had a little exercise book, which we called it in India, and I'd write all my songs in there and take it to school and pass it around, and people were quite amazed that I could actually at that age start to write stuff. And then I learned to play the guitar a little bit and started composing my own songs, just simple songs. And every Anglo-Indian party or dance we had, I'd get up and sing a few of my songs. So really started from there. It's absolutely incredible, and there's so many good musicians I had around me at the time. I would always long to be, even as half as good as them. And just that passion drove me so much that I am what I am today. I'm no greater than any other person around who can write or sing. It's just that my whole heart is in it, and whatever I do, I put my whole heart and soul into it.
Did you find you had a lot of encouragement when you were growing up to pursue what you wanted to do?
Yes, well, my mom and dad were both fairly good musicians. My dad could play quite a few instruments. My mom, when she was growing up, she was a singer in a band. So I've got the music from both of them. And they always encouraged me. We were not really that greatly off in India, but whatever my dad and mom could, buy me instruments, a guitar and a saxophone, things like that, they did encourage me a lot, and always made sure that every party or function that I would be up there, doing my stuff. So that was a great thing. And then I had a lot of supportive friends as well with me, who would sort of encourage me, different bands and things like that. Yeah, so I had a really good upbringing where the music was concerned.
So Terry, who really was your inspiration through it all?
Well, I grew up with the Beatles, and they've always been a great inspiration to me. I reckon they're one of the best groups of all time. Their music, their harmonies, the way they wrote songs, I would base all my own songwriting on the Beatles stuff, because I just always found that their kind of music was so different to the normal that people were doing, and in fact their harmonies were something quite different to everyone else. So when I write my songs now, I base everything basically on them, and I try to do the type of harmonies they would do, just imagining that I was a part of the band, and how I would think of doing it,
That's brilliant. I love that. That's excellent. So at what point in your life did you decide that you wanted to or needed to leave India and go elsewhere where in the world? And I know that you said to me earlier that you came over to England, but did you go from India to England? Is that how it went?
Yes, that's right. My mom's actually English. She's got all her grandparents, everything were English, but she was born in India. So on her strength, on the British passport thing, we all were allowed to go and settle in England. And but I was only about 6 years or so in England before I decided to come out to Australia. And that's how it happened basically. I was in India most of my life, but I came out here in '86.
how did your break into music, and people getting to know you and the success that you've had? How did all that come about?
Yeah.
Well, it's probably been about say 10 to 12 years since I really put myself fully into the recording side of it. I've always been writing songs, and in fact in all the bands that I've been in, I've done a lot of original stuff, but the recording side of it has only been 10 to 12 years since I studied a lot of the recording techniques, and my son is very, very good in that too. He knows a lot about recording, and he's also a very good musician. So with his collaboration, we come up with a lot of stuff. And I've really started. I decided maybe say 12 years ago to try to do it on a professional level.
I've listened to some of your songs since I knew you was coming on, and they're absolutely fantastic songs. Really enjoy them.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, seriously, really good. And
thank you.
It's a crazy thing, though, isn't it? About, shall we use the word in inverted commas, stardom? Because we've got artists over here in Britain that are really big here, and I talk to a lot of my friends in America, and it's like they haven't heard of them. And it's almost like different continents have amazing artists, and there are a few that transcend, and then some that don't. But the one thing about the internet, I think it's bringing the world closer and smaller. So artists, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you get better known.
That's very true. I mean, this wouldn't be possible for me for where I am in the music thing now if it wasn't for the internet.
Yes.
Absolutely, Alan. Terry puts out his numbers very, very often, and to be honest, most of it he doesn't even charge for. He's so passionate about what he does. He just puts it out for people to enjoy, and I know I have so many people who I wake up on a Monday morning saying, any new songs from Terry? And I'm like, okay, so sorry, I forgot to share it. I've got to share it. So that's how much people look out for his music.
I get a sense, Terry, that I'm not just saying because I'm talking to you. I get the sense just listening to your voice that you're a very caring and passionate man. And do you find, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but do you find by writing your songs and performing your songs, it's a way to try and bring people together and for people to realise that they're not alone in the world? I just have that feeling.
That's very true, Alan, because when I write a song, I just get this idea in my head of a particular song, and then I put myself in the person's shoes, like it's true to life, basically what I try to write. And I put myself in the person's shoes and think how they might be feeling, or what they would like to say. And it's not about myself, it's about everyone else out there. And I know there's a lot of people, lonely people in the world, a lot of happy people, lonely people, all sorts of situations where music, is something that brings people together, makes people happy. Even if it's a sad song, I found it does a lot of things for somebody.
Yeah.
Because some people just want to hear a sad song, no matter how down they are at the time. They want to hear a sad song that relates to their situation, and that gives them some sort of thing that, because it relates to them, it makes them feel better. I don't know why, but
I think music
it's strange.
I think music is very powerful. Songs are very powerful, Terry. I mean, I'm sure you're the same, and I'm sure Jill's the same. There's certain songs that resonate with me over the years that I hear them, and it brings back memories, be they good or bad memories. So I think there's something about music that transcends even talking to somebody.
Absolutely, Alan. It's the key to people's hearts and souls, I believe. And I think it's also about the truth. And Terry sings predominantly country music, right, Terry?
Sorry, Jill?
You do a lot of country music, don't you?
Yes, I've always loved country from young, but I've always also liked a lot of rock and roll and other stuff,
Yeah.
So I try to blend in my rock and roll stuff with the country, and people told me that your style is so different that we can't actually pick a genre.
Yeah.
We seem to think it's a little bit of country, a little bit of rock and roll, which is really good. That's what I intend to do. I don't want to be just anyone who's doing the same thing over and over. I want to be different.
Alan, if you look at the big superstars, and if you've obviously been in the business a long time, you'll know that for guys like Willie Nelson, Freddie Fender, Elvis Presley, and all the big guys, they have a certain truth about them when they sing. It's the truth that comes through, and that's something that many of us in the community and outside the community as well have picked up on where Terry is concerned. There's something about his music that is not just authentic, but it's the truth that comes through for many of us. It's like, as a speaker, I'm always told when you're speaking to people have to feel, oh my gosh, she's talking to me. It's like that.
Very true.
And that's what I feel when I listen to Terry's music, Alan. Have you felt the same when you were listening?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not just the words. When the words, the lyrics are very powerful, but it's also the tone, the mannerism that you actually sing your songs, Terry. And but you can't put that into words. It's just something that is there, isn't it, Jill?
Absolutely, you can't put that into words, and it's something you either get, or it's something you just don't pick up on. It's as simple as that, and that's what does it for people who are so authentic when they do something, and that's what I feel. So Terry, you play quite a few instruments, right?
I play quite a few. I play the drums, I play the bass guitar, lead guitar, rhythm guitar, saxophone.
Wow.
I love the saxophone.
Oh my gosh.
So I've always had this great passion for music where I want to do everything where music's concerned, I don't know how much I can do and how much I can't do, but I give it a go anyway,
Wow. Great. And Terry, so far, out of all the numbers you've done, what would be the best ones that you would pick out? And
well, I was thinking about that the other day, and I thought, I've got a fantastic and loving wife, and fully 110% devoted to her, and everything is based on her, really, in my life at the moment. So I recently wrote a song called Once Upon a Time, and it's really for her, and her name is Elaine. So I think Once Upon a Time would be my favorite song.
Oh, Alan, isn't that so amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I know Elaine. And
she's such an amazing person,
She is.
She's a great inspiration to me as well.
So, Terry, tell us about, we know that you're a super singer and an incredible songwriter, and I have no doubt that, you have a lot more to do in life. But let's talk a little bit about the hidden talents you have. Tell us a little bit about that.
I don't know what sort of hidden talents.
Mine boggles now, Jill. What are you going to say?
I thought I only had the talent for music, but I'm not really sure. Maybe other people can see that. I'm not sure.
You have something there, Terry. You've got to tell us about it. What else are you good at?
I'm good at loving my wife.
That's nice.
That's amazing.
That's nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
I give her all my love, and she's the most important person in my life. And she supports me, all the way, no matter how good or bad, whatever. So without her inspiration, I don't know how much more I would really do.
Wow, that's
find
so lovely.
I think you know her as well, Jill.
Of course.
So you know what an amazing person she is.
Oh, I do. I sure do.
I get so much strength just from her, you know. So every song I do, she must come and listen to it and tell me what she feels and what she thinks. And I listen carefully to everything she says, even though she's not really a singer or anything. But she has a really good ear, and she passes on really good, strong criticism, you know, in a good way to me.
Do you find...
Alan, isn't that so incredible in our world today?
It is. It's very important. I mean, I've got the same thing with Anne. You know,
yeah.
she's... so I understand what you're saying, Terry. Yeah, it's good to have somebody who, you know... But
absolutely.
I tell you what I wanted to ask you, Terry. You know when you go and do a show... is every time you do a show, is it almost like doing a show for the first time? You know, is it like the adrenaline and the nerves, and then you get on stage and the buzz from it?
Yep, every single thing of that. It's like the first time. Even if there's 5 people in the show, I just imagine there's 50,000 people there, you know, and give the set. Yeah, it doesn't stop me from, you know, doing my best.
Well, you do realise on this show, right, there's just one person in Northern Korea who doesn't listen to you. I do exaggerate a little bit, but...
No, you know, Alan, before we take a break, Terry has also done a number called Land of Many Dreams, and this is because he has lived in Australia for about 30 years now. But honestly, some of the most genuine musicians and singers like Mel and Gary and all of them actually, you know, happen to come from Australia. And I thought that playing this song, which is sung by Terry, was most appropriate at this point in time. So, Terry, we're going to play Land of Many Dreams.
Okay, Jill.
You know,
thank you.
for our listeners, and it's an incredible number, Alan.
Yes, it's going to come now, so please enjoy this.
Don't go away.
Yeah, we'll be back with Terry soon.
No worries. Thank you. I'll be here.
Thanks.
And the valleys and the bright city lights. Though I may be a rover, my heart I leave behind. 'Cause I'm going home, I'm going home to Australia, the land I love. Give me the sunshine, give me the rain, the land down under, the land of dreams. To many cities, to Paris and to Rome, but nothing can compare to this place that I call home. The Aussie girls are pretty, I'm sure you will agree, but if you don't believe me, mate, just come along with me. 'Cause I'm going home, I'm going home to Australia, the land I love. Give me the sunshine, give me the rain, the land down under, the land of dreams. I say good day, how you going, to everyone I meet. So give me a 6-pack and a blanket by the sea, 'cause I'm proud to be Australian, from the land of many dreams. 'Cause I'm going home, I'm going home to Australia, the land I love. Give me the sunshine,
and welcome back to Inspirational Voices, and I'll hand you over to Jill.
Thanks, Alan. Terry, you still there with us?
Yes, Jill, I'm still here.
Great. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Terry, we get on to the most important part of the show, where I just have 3 more questions for you.
Sure.
And first one is, there's so many young people out there who are aspiring to be musicians and singers and songwriters all over the world. Every day, the younger generation is trying. So, as somebody so experienced and so accomplished, what would your advice be to them in a matter of 3 tips that you could give them?
Well, I think everyone has talent. It's just that how you apply yourself, and the depth of passion is an important thing. First of all, I think you need to believe in yourself, to believe that you can do something, and keep striving till you achieve it. And there's so many people, around who can be an inspiration. It doesn't matter whether it's one of the world's superstars or just another friend of yours who could play a few chords on a guitar, or write a line for a song, and you sort of get inspiration from so many different directions. So just take all the help you can from anybody, and advice, no matter who it is. I've had over the years, I've been talking to people about songs who they're not really full-time musicians, but there's something in our conversation has struck me. I said, I didn't think of that. That's such a good point, So it's basically listening carefully to anybody who's trying to give you advice. It doesn't matter who it is.
One thing that
a lot of people think that I know everything and I don't need to know more, So it's not going to work that way. You can always learn from someone else.
One thing I've realised, Terry, is that we say something, and we're just talking, and especially if you're broadcasting, you say something and you don't realise that sometimes it has a marked effect on a person listening.
Yes, true.
Absolutely. So, Terry, tell us a little bit about what numbers you're currently working on, and what are your plans for the future?
I've got so many new songs since I sent you that list of songs. I've got so many new songs, and I'm actually planning on doing a couple more albums very soon. And Gary Ellis has just released his album. I think you know about that.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
He's included a couple of my songs. He's done it in his style, which I'm really proud of. To hear somebody else doing my song is such a great honor.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I've got a lot of plans. I'm always writing, whether anything happens to them or doesn't. It's just my passion. I go lock myself in my studio for hours and hours, and then come out feeling really good that I've done something.
Because you do something you really love, isn't it?
Yeah. There's nothing better in life, I think, than what I do.
Absolutely. Alan, Terry, and Elaine, I've got to mention this. Apart from what Terry does with his music and the joy that he brings to so many, they also do a lot of work for very many people in different ways. They've helped me a lot with my charities in India, and they've done an incredible amount. I currently have a box of more than 200 CDs sitting with me from Terry, just to help the charity, and that's how Elaine and he work. So, Terry, what inspires you and Elaine to do this, if I may ask? This is another side to what you're doing, which is so incredible.
I think we're just two softies, Jillian.
See what I say, Alan?
No,
Jillian, we both came from very humble beginnings as well, Elaine and myself. and we know the suffering and the hardship out there. So God has given us so much that why not give back as much, whatever we can, And we look up to you so much for what you do. To me personally, you and my wife are the greatest inspirations in my life.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I'll tell you something.
So I wrote that song for you, Lady Jillian.
Yes, Alan knows about that.
Yes, I do. Yeah, and I think Jill's a little bit, shall we say, shy about that one. So.
Yeah, you shouldn't be shy, Jillian. Don't worry, you'll always get knockers, But don't worry about that. I get them too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we all do. We all do. No, but we'll definitely play it, Terry. I know you want to play it, so Alan will play it. Yes.
So,
I'd love to hear that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll tell you what I will do. Look, hey folks, right? And I know we're on air, and I'm not trying to embarrass you, Joe, but she says only play it if Terry asks, and that's all right. Then I'll take it off the list. I'll just take it off the list, and I'll just put it back on again.
Jillian's a very shy person.
Terry would forget, but he didn't.
Yeah. Shall I play? I've listened to it, and I think it's a great song. So shall we listen to it now? Can you hang back? Can you still be there when we come back, Terry, just for a short while?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
I'll be here, Allan.
Okay, I'm going to play that now. To Jill's embarrassment, here it comes.
Thank you.
Jillian. God's chosen one.
And we're back. You're listening to Inspirational Voices, and I'm Alan Cox, and my co-host Jillian Haslam, and our really special guest this morning. Well, it's morning over here in England anyway. Tea time, I believe, in Australia. Terry Morris. Thank you, Terry, for being with us. Very much appreciated, and I've actually really enjoyed it. But I've got one question here for you. When I presume you do a lot of touring over in Australia. Have you got plans to come over to England or anywhere else in the Northern Hemisphere?
Not at the moment, Alan. I do a lot of shows here in Australia.
Yes.
But I haven't actually been out for a long time. And because at the same time, my wife and I, we run a business here, the manufacturers of,
Yeah.
kit homes and things like that. So we're actually very busy with that sort of stuff too. So, but I'd love to come to England one day and do a few shows. So maybe in the near future.
That'd be good. And don't forget to tell me when you're coming, because I'd love to come and watch you. See you.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Alan.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
You will know, Alan. Don't worry, because I'd know.
Okay. So, is there anything else you'd like to say, Jill, before we let?
Oh, just a super big thank you to Terry for being on the show, for the song, and for the incredible amount that you and Elan do for everyone. And what else can we say? Just gratitude all around.
All I'd like to say, Alan and Jillian, thank you so much for having me on the show. And I'm very, very proud to be an Anglo-Indian.
That's marvelous.
Absolutely.
That's my slogan always.
Well,
Absolutely.
now we know each other, Terry. Let's keep in touch, and I know we'll keep in touch through Jill anyway. So
We will.
brilliant.
Absolutely.
Thank you again, Alan.
Thanks, Terry. Take care.
Jillian.
Thank you for your time. Enjoy your Sunday evening. Bye.
We're still going to play your songs.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
are.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
We've got I Love Rock and Roll coming up, followed
Yep.
by We Were the Railway Children. But just before we go to that, Terry was on about the charitable work that he tries to help you with, and I think it's important, Jill, if you tell everybody if they want to make a donation towards the charities that you support. But could you explain how they can do that?
Alan, they can go on to inspirationalvoices.net and they can look at my websites from there, or they can just go on to the Remedia Trust Foundation website and look at all the work that we do over there. And there's just so many ways in which people can help and come forward and just join hands with us to reach out to those in need and those who need us. That's all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And just before we go, I want to just a personal message to our mutual friend Goldie, right? Anne and I love you dearly, and just because I haven't been in touch all the time doesn't mean to say that you're far from my thoughts. I promise you. Okay, so I wanted to make that public.
She's going to love that.
Anne and I love you dearly. Okay, and if it wasn't for you, right, we wouldn't be talking on this show now, Jill and I, because it was you that brought Jillian and I together, and we'll eternally be grateful for that. Okay?
Absolutely. Thank
Right.
you. Yes, I'd like to say thank you too. Thanks, Alan.
All right, now, because I know she gets worried sometimes when I haven't been in touch with a message.
Yes, she does.
And honestly, I haven't fallen out with you. I haven't not cared about you. We love you and your husband dearly. So anyway, right, I love rock and roll. Here it comes.
Ever since I was a little bitty baby boy, rocking in my cradle in the middle of the night, wearing nothing else but a little baby suit, a rattle in my hand and Carrollton out. Mom stayed at home with the children. She kept the home fires burning bright. Pa went online in the early morning, and he came home late at night. I wanna be a steam train driver, just like my daddy used to be. On BD cigarettes sound so familiar to me. Gum coffee, sweet condensed milk tea. Are Baba, have some steak, your coffee, all on our chicky. We hear the whistle blowing as Uncle Stan's train rushes by. As an extra cloud of steam puffs up high into the sky. Uncle Noel's the station master as the train pulls in real slow. And I put up words to signal, telling them which way to go. We hear the whistle blowing as Uncle Stan's train rushes by. As an extra cloud of steam puffs up high into the sky. Uncle Noel's the station master as the train pulls in real slow. And I put up words to signal, telling them which way to go. We were the railway children, living in the railway colony, and went to the railway school called Oak Grove in the hills of Talipani. The students came from all over this vast and beauteous land, Asansol, Pune, New Delhi, and even from Jharkhand. Let's not forget the institute, the dance parties to which we'd go. Little Kitty's Christmas tree, sports day, fancy dress, the talent show. Come around December 31, with the Aya we will stay. As Mom and Dad dressed to the nines to dance the night away. Those railway tracks did clickety-clack across India far and wide. The voo-voo of the whistles heard around the countryside. So many happy memories chased around my mind when we were the railway children.